And I'm going to share my screen with you. Great. And let me just adjust this. Oops. Try to make that a bit bigger. Great. And we're going to talk this week about Roman keycard Blackwood. It's something I've covered in the past, but not for a number of years. And it's a very popular variant of Blackwood, which treats the King of Trump as if it were an ace. So there are now 5 key cards, 4 aces, and the King of Trump. And the reason that you can see it's useful is that obviously if you're in a slam, if you want to think about bidding a slam and you were missing, say, 1 ace and the King of Trump, that's probably not going to be a good slam to be in. So it makes it equally important with the rest of the aces. And in addition, you can sometimes find out if your partner has the Queen of Trump as well. That's not so important. I would say 80% of the value of this convention is finding out about the King of Trump very often. And finding out about the Queen of Trump can sometimes be helpful. So the thing to remember is that the 5 key cards are the 4 aces and the King of Trump. And I've actually got a handout on this topic, if I can switch to it. If you go to my website here and click on handouts, there's a number of handouts there, and there's a summary of Roman keycard Blackwood if you click on that link. So do familiarize yourself with that if you're planning to play Roman keycard Blackwood. So if I switch back to the slides, basically, in response to for no Trump, the responses are as follows. 5 clubs shows 0 or 3 key cards. 5 diamonds shows 1 or 4 key cards. 5 hearts is used to show 2 or occasionally 5 key cards without the Queen of Trump. The Queen of Trump is not one of the 5 key cards, but sometimes you can show it. And 5 spades shows 2 or rarely 5 key cards without the Queen of Trump. And if a suit hasn't been explicitly agreed, then the last suit bid is assumed to be the Trump suit. If you find you've got all the missing key cards, in other words, you and your partner have got 5 key cards, you can then go on to bid 5 no Trump to ask about the other 3 kings. So these responses are more or less the same as normal Blackwood. 5 club shows 0, 5 diamond shows 1, 5 heart shows 2, and 5 spade shows 3. You don't show the King of Trump again. So there are only 3 kings that you could show. There are some variants of this, which I'll talk about at the end. So I'm just going to talk about this particular version and just warn you that different people play some different things. So let's have a look at a hand where, let's say your partner opens 1 heart and you're sitting there with 4 hearts and 19 points. And you should be thinking about the possibility of a slam. Your partner's got an opening hand. You've got presumably at least 31 plus points. You've got nice shape. You've got a singleton. And there are a number of bids you could make here. You could go straight into Blackwood or Roman keycard Blackwood, because that's what we're playing today. Or you could make another bid, find out a bit more about your partner's hand. You could bid 4 clubs if you were playing splinter bids, although this hand is a little bit too strong for what's generally considered normal for a splinter bid. Or you could just make a bid like 2 diamonds, which is forcing to find out more about your partner's hand. And if they bid 2 hearts, let's say, now you know they've got at least 5 hearts and they're a minimum hand 12 to 15, but you're still interested in a slam. And this is a good hand to use Roman keycard Blackwood on. So you bid 4 no Trump here. And if your partner responds 5 spades, we have to think about what that shows. Well, there are, remember, 5 key cards, and you've got 2 of them. You've got 2 aces. So the other key cards are the 2 missing aces and the King of Trump. And what your partner's five spades show is that they have two of the missing key cards, and they have the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Trump. So the five spade bid has in any case forced you to the sixth level, but you'd be quite happy bidding six hearts here, even though you're missing one key card. You're not sure which key card it is. It could be the King of Hearts, or it could be a minor suit ace, but either way, it should just be one trick. And you should expect your partner to have something like this. And I hope you can see that six hearts should be a good contract here. In fact, if you try counting your tricks, you'll see that you've got five hearts, five diamonds, and three spades. So if the opponents don't lead a club, you'll be able to make all the tricks. If they lead a club, you'll just make the six. So that's a simple example of the five spade bid showing two key cards. Here it's the Ace of Diamonds and the King of Hearts, and they can also show the Queen of Hearts here. Do stop me if you have any questions. We'll look at some more examples of this in a moment. Here's one where your partner opens one heart, and again, you've got a fantastic hand here, and you should be definitely thinking about looking for a slam. And with a very good five card or longer suit and at least 16 points, you can jump to two spades. That's what two spade bid shows, 16 points and a good five card suit. And your partner supports you, so they can support you with only three. So you've now got you've got a spade fit, and you should be thinking about the possibility of a slam. Let's suppose you bid 4 no trump, Roman key card Blackwood, and I'd like to switch to your partner's hand here. And the first poll of the evening is, what should West bid in response to 4 no trump? 4 no trump is Roman key card Blackwood, and you need to decide how many key cards you have and to give the right response. So take a moment, think about it, and here comes the poll. And the question is, what should West bid? Have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for five hearts, but there are responses for five spades, five diamonds, and five clubs. So let's switch back and see what we think. Well, my partner's bid 4 no trump. The trump suit is spades. So I have two key cards. I have the King of Spades and I have the Ace of Diamonds. Without the Queen of Spades, which I don't have, I'm going to bid five hearts. Yes, most of you are correct. If you chose something else, do look up the responses and make sure you understand why the correct bid there is five hearts. And if your partner does bid five hearts, let's switch back to the East hand. You now have know about your partner's key cards. You know your partner's got two key cards, and they must be the King of Spades and the Ace of Diamonds. So you're not missing any key cards. So I've got another question for you, this time for East. And the question is, your partner shows two key cards without the Queen of Spades, which you know they don't have because you've got it. How many tricks can you now count? And the second part is, what do you think you should bid now? So before you decide on what to bid, imagine your partner sitting there with the King of Spades and the Ace of Diamonds, and tell me how many tricks you can now count between your hand and your partner's. And the second part of the poll is, what do you think he should now bid? Let me give you a moment to think about that. Let's have a look at what you've put. And there's almost a dead heat between 12 and 13. You can't both be right. And for the second part, what should you now bid? Most of you gone for six spades, with one person going for 5 no trump. So let's switch back and first of all count our tricks. Well, if my partner has the king of spades and the ace of diamonds, I'm going to count 6 spade tricks, 1 heart, 4 diamonds, and 1 club. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tricks. Yes, the correct answer is 12. You can count 12 tricks here. And you should be certain of being able to make a small slam here. There's another card.
Sorry, Tony, can I come in here?
Yeah.
You didn't give a choice of 6 no trumps.
No, I didn't. No.
I would have bid that.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
So yeah, so you could bid 6 no trump. Sorry, I probably should have included that. But your partner may also have another king. Your partner may have the king of hearts or the king of clubs. And if he has either of those, you can pretty much count 13 tricks. So I think the best bid here is 5 no trump. And if you bid 5 no trump and your partner now bids 6 diamonds, they are showing 1 king. And it's not the king of spades, they've already shown that, but it's a king of hearts or it's a king of clubs. And now you should be pretty confident in bidding the grand slam, either 7 spades or 7 no trump. And your partner has presumably got something like this. But you don't really need all those heart tricks because you've got 6 spades, 4 diamonds, 1 heart, and 2 clubs. There is a tiny chance that your partner's got the king of clubs, as here, and that it's a singleton, and that would be extremely unfortunate because then you'd only have 12 top tricks. But barring that very unlikely outcome, I would recommend you bid 7 spades or 7 no trump. I don't recommend bidding a grand slam unless you're pretty much certain you can count 13 tricks. And here I think we can. So I think a grand slam is a good call there. Do trump me if you have any questions. Yes, and if your partner and rather than bid 6 spades, by the way, in answer to Morris's question, yeah, I think 6 no trump would be better because you can count those 12 tricks and it scores better than people who just bid 6 spades. Let's have a look at another one here. And I just want to start with a bidding question on here. And the question is, what do you think West should open the bidding with here? You've got 21 points. Someone asked, can you bid Benji? Yes. I didn't talk about that. Okay. Let's have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for 2 clubs, with a few people bidding 2 no trump, 1 spade or 1 diamond. And yes, if you were playing Benji, you would bid perhaps 2 diamonds instead of 2 clubs. So yes, I forgot to mention that. Well, it's only 21 points, but I think this is a kind of hand where we want to be in game. Presumably, if we could find some kind of fit in spades, we've got a really strong hand there. And, in terms of losers, using the losing trick count, which you don't really do unless you found a fit, but there are only 3 losers there. So I think this hand qualifies for a 2 club opener, which normally shows 23 points, or game in your own hand, which I think you pretty much have. The second choice would be 1 spade, but there's a danger, of course, that might be passed out. Anyway, let's suppose you do bid 2 clubs and your partner responds 2 diamonds. That's a negative, showing 0 to 7 points. And you now bid your spade suit. You should bid your major suit there, and you bid the higher ranking of 2 5-card suits, just as you would have opened 1 spade with a slightly weaker hand. And when your partner raises you to three spades, that's showing a couple of things. That's showing they have some points there because they could have made the two no trump double negative. So they've got perhaps between 3 and 7 points, and they've got some kind of fit for you in spades, presumably at least three spades. So if you now launch into Blackwood, and let's suppose your partner bids 5 diamonds. So they've got a key card. That 5 diamond bid shows one key card. And that is either the king of spades or it's the ace of hearts. And this is a kind of hand where, having found a fit in spades and your partner shows one key card, you might well be thinking of a slam. You might be a little bit worried about the quality of your spade suit, and you can, when your partner responds 5 diamonds here, you can make another bid to ask them if they've got the queen of trump. So although you're missing one key card, the king of spades or the ace of hearts, you'd also quite like to know whether they've got the queen of trump. And you can do that, if the bidding permits you to do it, by bidding a new suit. You bid the next suit up, not the trump suit, which would be signing off in 5 spades, but you bid 5 hearts here. And this is used to ask about the queen. So if your partner responds 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, a new suit by you, other than the trump suit, is an inquiry about the queen of trump. It's saying, partner, do you have the queen of trump? And basically, if they bid the cheapest response here, 5 spades, they would be saying they don't have it. And if they do have it, they jump one, they bid the next suit up, they make the next available bid. So if this is the last poll of the evening, if we switch to the east hand here, we can see we've got 6 points here. We responded 5 diamonds to show one key card, the king of spades. And if my partner now bids 5 hearts, what should I bid now? What do you think he should respond to 5 hearts when your partner bids 5? What would you think you should respond when your partner bids 5 hearts here? Okay, let's have a look at the responses. And the most popular response there was 6 spades, with 5 spades being the next response, and 5 clubs, and then 5 no trump. Well, I didn't really talk too much about this, except to say that 5 spades, the cheapest suit that you can bid here after 5 hearts is 5 spades, would be denying the queen of trump. And if you want to show the queen of trump, which is what you should bid here, you bid the next suit or make the next available bid up. So actually the correct response here is 5 no trump. 5 no trump says, yes, I have the queen of trump. And your partner is very happy with that and should end up in 6 spades here. And there are other ways you can respond to that 5 heart bid. There are some people who like to Q bid something if they have a king, but I think the most straightforward response is to bid 5 spades here to deny the queen, or make another bid that bid the next suit up. So a lot of you bid 6 spades, which is where you want to end up here. That all of those are correct, as long as you're making clear that you want to accept your partner's invitation, and you bid 5 no trump is technically correct, but some of you interpreted my explanation differently and jumped to 6 spades. Either way, you should end up in 6 spades here. And I hope you can see that's a pretty good contract. Looking at it from the point of view of West, your only loser potentially would be in diamonds, and it might be a good idea to either establish a club suit or probably better to ruff at least one or two of the diamonds in dummy before you draw trumps. So
Tony, when partner responds, they've got one key card. You don't know if it's the king of spades or the ace of whatever was missing.
that's correct.
So is it not worth finding out if they've got kings? Because if they say none, then you know the key card they showed you was the spade. No.
Not really, because once West discovers there's only one key card, they know they don't want to be in a grand slam, right? Their only question is, do they want to? So you wouldn't ask about kings, because your partner showing one key card. It's either the king of spades or it's the ace of hearts. Either way, it's likely to be just one trick. So you want to be in six spades here. Here you have the chance to ask if your partner has the queen of spades, and so but you wouldn't bid five no trump. You only bid five no trump if you're looking for a grand slam. So you would never bid five no trump when you're missing a key card.
Thank you.
It's a very, very common mistake to bid five no trump sort of automatically after four no trump. But you don't do that if you're missing an ace, or if using Roman key card if you're missing a key card. So anyway, you should end up in six spades there. Just want to remind you that in direct response to one no trump or two no trump, four no trump is not used as Blackwood and not used as Roman key card Blackwood, but it is quantitative, invitational. In all other cases, four no trump is used as Blackwood or Roman key card Blackwood. So on this example here, if it goes two no trump, this is a kind of hand where with 12 points opposite 20 to 22, you invite the slam by bidding four no trump. West is a minimum here, 20 points, and passes. You don't, that four no trump is not Blackwood, or it's not Roman key card Blackwood. Just to summarize the advantages then, the main advantage, and that's the main advantage of this convention, is you're able to find out about the king of trump. And sometimes you can also find out about the queen of trump. Disadvantages, well, it's more to remember, more to get wrong. And there's a slight chance you might misinterpret your partner's five clubs, which could be 0 or 3, or five diamonds, which could be 1 or 4 key cards. The other thing to mention is that there are different variations of Roman key card Blackwood, and one of the most common ones reverses the meaning of the 5 club and 5 diamond responses. So standard Roman key card Blackwood, 5 club shows 0 or 3, 5 diamond shows 1 or 4. The alternative version, known as 1430, shows 5 club shows 1 or 4, and 5 diamond shows 0 or 3. So if I'm playing with a random partner and they say, I'd like to play Roman key card Blackwood, I will follow up with the question, what version do you play? Do you play 0314 or 1430? And the second variation, the alternative variation, does have some advantage, because in the case where you're perhaps looking for a slam in hearts in particular, and your partner responds 5 clubs to your 4 no trump, it's more likely in that situation that you'll be looking for a slam if your partner responds with 1 key card rather than 0 key cards. And so if they respond with 1 key card, the 5 diamond bid is available to ask about the queen of trump. So that's why that variation exists, and that's why it's more popular. If you play with the partner regularly, you can use that, but it's a marginal benefit, and the main benefit is to get right the counting the king as a key card. You don't use this queen asking sequence that often, to be honest. And there are other variants of Roman key card Blackwood. For example, where when you bid 5 no trump, they don't respond with the number of kings they have, but they bid the cheapest king if they have a king in a side suit. Otherwise, they return to the trump suit. So there are other, and there are still more variations around. But to start with, I suggest you stick with what I've covered here as a fairly straightforward variation. But do be aware that some people play something different. And I think that's it. So that was all I wanted to cover. Does anyone have any other questions about that?